What's up, everyone? This is Midnight Strike 3625, welcoming you back to your weekly Versus, the weekly episodic epic that pits two or more different things against each other to see which one you, the commenter, approves of more or prefers. So, today's episode might prove to be a little bit controversial due to strong feelings weighing on one side or the other. That's right, we're talking about gaming today, specifically PC versus console gaming. Now, a lot of my friends have conflicted with each other in the past on this issue, personally, and it's such a huge topic today in this day and age that I can't believe I haven't already covered it. So, me, I'm just a gamer. I mean, I have a few PC games, but I'm not really too into it because I have kind of a lower-end PC. I got my PC or my laptop in 2011, and while it has a decent graphics card, I'm not sure about the processing power and all that stuff, and the RAM. I'm just not sure. I got it from as a graduation present, per se. And I have a really low-end Windows XP computer hooked up to my monitor, or hooked up to my 49-inch TV, which is behind the laptop, but I just use that for ROMs and emulators and, like, music and stuff like that. So I'm not really too into PC gaming, but I can definitely see the appeal, because I do have, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and that is definitely one of my favorite games, and I've played it on console before, but it's one of those games that feels like it needs a mouse. It was made to be with a mouse, or played with a mouse, per se, but basically with PC games, you can mod them, you can add whatever you want to them, as long as you have the knowledge and the know-how on how to do that stuff. So as to generate a little bit of discussion, I'm going to ask you, the commenter, to post your opinions, thoughts, concerns, comments, whatever you want in the comment section below, so as to generate a little bit of discussion. So basically, like I said before, I'm not necessarily a console elitist per se. I do have a lot of consoles, don't really have, the time, energy, or effort, or money to put into a gaming PC, but then again, even a low-end PC from like 2009 can run most recent games, but then again, that's probably going to change with the addition of the PS4 and Xbox One, and of course, to a minor, lesser extent, the Wii U. So I'm thinking about actually redoing my PS4 and Xbox One episode of Versus, because the first one was actually released before either system came out, so I might do that later in the future in this season of Versus. But back to the topic at hand, PC versus console gaming. Like I said earlier on in the video, I'm just a gamer. I don't care either way. If something is meant to be played on PC, I will play it on PC. Sometimes it's better to have all those mods, have all those options available, but it takes time and money in order to configure your PC, the settings, the way you want it and everything. Get a crack to install a controller unless you want to buy a new actual PC controller. So it's just a lot of money, a lot of time, and you really got to be invested in your hardware, which if you buy a console, you can just stick the game in there and it's already at max settings, basically. Like, for the longest time, I thought that the Xbox version of Knights of the Old Republic looked a lot better than the PC version. And that was just because my PC sucked. So if you don't have a really high-end PC, you're not going to be able to play the newest games. I mean, sure, you're going to be able to play games from, like, 4 years ago, but that isn't really saying much in this day and age. PC gaming is definitely on the rise for first-person shooters, MMOs, and stuff like that, but you don't really get the core exclusives of consoles. That's another bad thing about PCs, is you don't really get the core exclusives, like, say, Infamous or Uncharted. You get more of the multi-platinum games, or multi-platform, excuse me, with Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, stuff like that. I mean, even Halo. I mean, Halo isn't exclusive for Microsoft, so I suppose you get it for Windows, but all the newer Halos you don't actually get on PC. Like, I don't think Halo 4 was released. I don't know if Halo 3 was, but then again, the last game I played was Halo 2 for PC. So I'm a little bit old school and a little bit behind the times when it comes to PC gaming, but I just wanted to make this episode to see which one you, the gamer, or you, my audience member, subscriber, whatever you want to call it, likes better. So basically, to get into it, like I said, again, PC gaming, you get all the mods, all the additions, and all the DLCs. For the most part, excuse me, I just stumbled over my own words there. For the most part, it is included in the actual package. So, for example, in Assassin's Creed 2, you can buy DLC for Bonfire of the Vanities and Battle of Forlì, which was cut from the console versions because of time constraints. But in the PC version, they're already included for free. So for the most part, sometimes you get all the DLC either for free or added on, or you can download it easier. And it's just a little bit easier, and it's all in one place. And of course, like I said, ease of controls with the mouse and the keypad as opposed to the controller. Sometimes it's a little bit easier, sometimes it's a hassle, and you can even hook up a controller to your PC. So while it doesn't have the first-party support that consoles do, it definitely has pretty much everything else, including user-generated content, which is one of the coolest things about PC. Like, I was watching one of my old friends play some Morrowind, and it looked better than Skyrim. He had some hyper, ultra-realistic mods thrown in there, and I wish I could do that on my Xbox 360. I mean, you can't. It's basically maxed out at what it's maxed out at when you play it on a console. It cannot get any better than that, but it can't get any worse. So it's locked at a steady look, I suppose. It's locked at a steady feel. You can't really customize it. You can't really do anything with it, and you can't play around with the settings as much. So PC definitely gives you the freedom to do whatever you want in that department, but I feel like it's lacking a lot of the core exclusives that consoles do. So for me, like I said before, I game, I'll play whatever I want on whatever I want, basically, or whatever it feels natural to play it on. KOTOR, or Knights of the Old Republic, feels better with a mouse. Star Wars Battlefront, however, quoting really old games here, feels better with a controller. Now, the new Devil May Cry, I actually had the ability, the option to play the Devil May Cry that came out last year. Don't really like it that much, but PC controls felt a little bit, I don't know, a little bit loose, I guess. And it was really hard to get used to, especially with the keyboard and mouse. And my girlfriend's friend actually had the PC version of DMC Devil May Cry. And while I don't necessarily like the game, as I explained before, the PC controls definitely felt looser, and I think it would have been better if we were able to play with a control. So sometimes the controls are an issue, but everything else is just pretty much exactly right where it needs to be. PC is definitely a platform of precision and customization, and I definitely appreciate it for what it is, but some games just don't feel right when played with a mouse, or when played with an arrow. So that's all I'm really going to say on that matter. Knights of the Old Republic is a little bit of a different story. MMOs, like, say, Marvel, DC Online Universe, whatever that is, I played like 2 seconds of it on PS4, or a few minutes, I should say, not like 2 seconds. Made my character, went around. It's a pretty fun game, but I felt like it would have been better on PC. So there are some games that feel better on PC, other games that feel better on consoles, but for the most part, I guess I prefer consoles just because I've grown up on them and just because of the core exclusives that you can't get on PC. I mean, basically, on PC you're limited to Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and sports games. Actually, I don't even know if sports games come out for PC, but some of them are cracked. Like, I've known people that can actually crack console games and put them on PC, or get emulators for the older games, but for emulators, generally they don't run as smoothly as the actual game on the console, and there are graphical errors and graphical issues unless you have that really powerful, like, ultra-high settings PC, but if you can make it work, then more power to you, I suppose. So, with that, I guess that's really all I have to say. Type what you think in the comment section down below. PC or console gaming? What is your forte? Do you prefer to game with a keypad and mouse, keyboard and mouse, or a controller? Now, you can hook up a PC to an HD monitor or an HD giant big screen TV if you prefer that, and you can play it with a controller just like a console, just to dispel that rumor that, PC gamers are just kind of hunched up over on their small 19-inch monitor. That's not the case. You can actually play it on a big screen TV. So, for me, I'm a gamer. I will play basically any game on any console and, not be biased towards, oh my god, it's not for PC, stuff like that. I mean, like, if it's for PC and I can play it on my crappy low-end laptop, then sure, I mean, I'll play it. And if it feels better for PC, then I'll play it. But I'm not going to go out of my way, I suppose, to soup up a super ultra high-powered gaming PC just to play a game I could stick in my PS3 or PS4. So that's just my thoughts. I'm not going to say that PC gaming is better. I'm not going to say that console gaming is better. But for me, personally, I guess I've just always grown up on consoles. You know, from the NES to the Dreamcast to the PS4, that is where, I guess, most of my games come from. But, like I said, if I find a game for PC, sure, why not? So, what do you guys think? Type in the description, or type in the comment section below. This is Midnight Strike 3625. I hope you enjoyed this versus. Keep calm and rock on.